Welcome to this Spokane and Coeur d'Alene housing market update for November 2025. As always, this video has no gimmicks, no sales pitches, and no baseless speculation. It's just the facts without all the BS. My name is Phil Wells. I'm a real estate agent licensed in both Washington and Idaho. If you want to talk to me privately about anything, my details will be in the description to this video, and you can reach out to me there. In this video, we're going to start by looking at mortgage rates. We'll then move on to do a deep dive into each of our local markets here, that being Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. I'll also give you my view on how I would navigate the market if I were a buyer or a seller in any of our two local markets. Just a reminder that housing market data comes in slowly, so while these are the most up-to-date figures that are available, we are referencing data from October. Before we get going, go and follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. I post market updates there as well as real estate tips throughout the month there too. So let's get into it. Looking first at the behavior of the 30-year conventional mortgage over the last month right up to present day. At the start of October, we were at 6.37%. We then saw a real run down towards 6% in late October, bottoming out there at 6.13%. Interestingly, 6.13% was the lowest level for mortgage rates in September. The Fed cut interest rates another 0.25% on October 29th, and they cited fears in the economy related to the labor market. That caused mortgage rates to increase, as you can see there, to where they are today at 6.34%. So still a little ways to go there before mortgage rates do fall below that 6% barrier. But overall, things are heading in the right direction, it seems. And remember, for those government secured loans, those VA, those FHA loans out there, you are already seeing mortgage rates with a 5 handle. So if you're just listening to the news and hearing rates above 6%, know that in certain cases you're already below that threshold. Now it's time for a deep dive into the Spokane housing market to see what's been happening there this month. These are the latest figures that are available, and they detail actual sales that took place in October. Sales here are down 2.5% last month year over year, coming off the back of a 7% growth in sales last month. So a real yo-yo in terms of actual sales that are happening here in Spokane this month versus last month. In that kind of market, predicting what's going to happen next is difficult. Median home prices here in Spokane are $405,500. And they are actually down 3.5% on a year-over-year basis. That's the second month in a row of mid 3% declines there for median home prices here in Spokane. This is something to really keep an eye on because these are the first consistent drops in prices I've seen in Spokane in a very long time indeed. People tend to do one of two things when price drops hit. They panic sell, or they decide to hold forever, both of which could have dramatic effects on inventory, so this is something we're going to want to pay close attention to. New listings and active listings are both up substantially, and inventory levels are at the highest I have seen at any time during my whole time in the industry here. We're currently at 4.8 months worth of supply. And you can see days on market of 27 days. So if your home's priced right, you'll likely have a contract on it in just over 3 weeks right now here in Spokane. So it seems like a great time to be a buyer here in Spokane. You have an increasing inventory pool, declining prices, and homes are taking longer and longer to sell. So if you have the ability to qualify for a loan right now, you should really think about buying. The Spokane housing market is normally characterized by low inventory and quick sales with low time on market. So to have the exact reverse true right now is a real luxury for buyers. I know rates make it difficult, but trust me, having limited competition right now and the time to shop at your leisure is a real luxury you might not have in the future. If you're a seller in this market, just know that whilst things are moving in the wrong direction for sellers, if you're priced right, you should have a contract in about 3 or 4 weeks right now here in Spokane. The trick, of course, is pricing your home right. Pretty difficult to do in a falling market. You don't want to price too low and leave money on the table, but also you don't want to price just right, and suddenly the tide goes out and you're stuck high and dry, not being able to sell because you're priced too high. So what I'm telling people right now is control what you can control. Make sure your home is properly prepared for the market. Take care of those small, niggling things that I call negative distractors for a buyer. Things like broken door handles, missing light switch covers, and things like that. Things that you could give a handyman a couple of $100 for a few hours of work and just take care of all of it. That being said, with the best preparation in the world, unfortunately, cancelled contracts are quite common here right now, as buyers are more sensitive to things like being unable to negotiate inspection items because they're already paying so much because of interest rates. Now let's take a deep dive into the Coeur d'Alene market and see what's been going on there. These are the latest figures that are available. They detail actual sales from last month, October 2025. Coeur d'Alene's actual sales in October moved up a massive 9.4%, which is very positive news. And as you can see, cumulatively for 2025 versus 2024, sales are ahead 4.8%. So Coeur d'Alene posting month after month of positive news there when it comes to sales increases. That's really positive news for a market that was, until quite recently, very sluggish on the sales front. Looking at absorption rates, also known as months of supply, we're currently at 5.34 months worth of supply, and that's starting to dip as we head into the cooler months, as it often does, as people start to pull their listings and just wait till spring. Median home prices are up 4.76% to $550,000 on a year-over-year basis here in October. That's a really solid growth rate, and that's above the official rate of inflation. Median days on market in the Coeur d'Alene area for October are 89 days. So approximately 3 months to get a contract here in Coeur d'Alene if you're a seller. Buyers in this market should look at substantial inventory levels and 89 days on market as a sign that they can shop for a home in a pretty relaxed fashion. They don't have to go rushing out the day they spot a listing they like the looks of. Buyers should understand though that home prices are not coming down here in Coeur d'Alene. In fact, they are rising. That being said, you can expect to negotiate things like inspection findings or maybe some closing costs along the way on a case-by-case basis. So some would argue it's a pretty favorable market to be a buyer right now in the Coeur d'Alene area if you can afford it. Sellers in this market should be looking at the wide pool of inventory available and significant days on market of around 3 months, and concluding that they should be doing everything in their power to make sure that their property is ready for the market, because just listing it to see how it goes is a good way to waste 6 months in this market, unfortunately. You absolutely must go through your home with a fine-toothed comb, pick out all those negative attention grabbers, those loose door handles, those missing light switch covers, and take care of them before any potential buyer tours your home. Also keeping on top of things like cleaning and lawn care, snow removal, leaf removal, whatever it is, throughout the duration of your listing is also a must. However, sellers should take some comfort in the fact that year-over-year home sales are increasing, so homes are being sold. You just don't want to leave anything to chance when you're talking about a 90-day feedback loop. That's it for this video. If the video was useful in any way, please tell YouTube that it was. Please like, comment, subscribe, and interact with the video in any way that you can. And if you're looking at buying, selling, or investing in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, my details will be in the description to this video. You can reach out to me in a number of ways, and I'd be honored to hear from you, even if it's just to answer a question or two. So until the next one, my name is Phil Wells, and thank you for watching.